I want to bring up something that you talked about. Something that I eventually we can roll into something I want to talk about. Working towards bigger goals without the affirmation of others.
How you feel about it?
I don't know because I feel like in everything I do, there's always at least one person.
Who would it be?
My best friend.
Okay. So how would you feel if one day you just found out that your best friend, the one who even says in your face, like, "Oh yeah, I'm proud of you," this, that, and the third, was secretly wishing on your downfall? Because
That's
I've had
crazy.
that. I've
That's
had that.
fucking wild.
Like people that I've called, like one of my closest friends, like they're talking about, "Oh yeah, I'm proud of you," but then we'll come up in next conversations and they'll be like, "Oh well, dang, I wish that was me." Like, "Oh dang, like they just showing signs of envy." And it's like, all right, well, you was just saying you're proud of me, you're happy for me, but now that you're not in the same position,
Slippery slope.
now it's hating.
They can still be envious of you though.
But why be envious if you're really proud? That's like me saying, "Oh
You
yeah,
can
you
be
got
both.
you got you a girlfriend. Oh yeah, that's great for you, Nelson. I'm proud of you." But then, damn,
I
I
wish
wish
I
I
had
had
a
a girlfriend.
girlfriend.
But then being like, "Oh well, you know what? Your girlfriend looks good." Let me come talk to
Not
your
saying
girl.
I wish I had your girlfriend is crazy.
But you see what I mean though. But
No,
people do that. But people do that.
People do that. But saying I'm proud of you, I'm proud of your relationship, and then saying I wish I had like what you got.
But what if he already had a crush on her and you just ended up getting with that person, and now secretly he's like,
Again,
yeah, like
I want
that's
your
a little
girl
iffy.
is crazy, but seeing you happy with a girl makes me want a girl. It's not. It's still envy.
I don't
And it's
know, man.
proudness.
Personally,
I get what you're saying.
yeah.
Though.
Personally, I have a very strict like few friends that people that I really deem as friends. You have to be genuinely happy.
Yeah.
But when I see signs of envy, it just shuts me down because now it's like, all right, well, what are you really thinking? Because like I've been through even worse where it's like, all right, yeah, people I'm calling my friends are now sitting here joining people that are jumping me. So now it's like, all right, well, I'm always on that like alert now where it's like, okay, so if I'm gonna do something, especially with this whole move, like, yeah, I could tell you I'm going to Full Sail, I could tell you all that, but you're probably not coming to visit me. You're probably not coming to do a lot of the stuff that I'm doing. We're probably not gonna be the same. Like I'm already going into my space knowing that.
And you're probably not gonna make the effort to be a part of it.
Yeah. Like so it's just like, okay, well, if you really were proud of me, you'd be supporting me, repost, stuff like that, do what you do. But when you see someone in a higher position, or I don't even want to call it a higher position, but just doing
In a
better.
different space.
Yeah, like when you see people in a different space and you feel like they're doing better than you, then it comes to a point where it's like, I want what he has. I want this. What can I do to make sure that he doesn't get that and I'll get it? And it's honestly what I think it's just human nature. Like we hate to see other people be that far ahead when we feel like we deserve it.
I agree, but that's because I'm under the mindset. And shout out to all my niggas. I hope you're listening to me. I am in competition with all of y'all all the time.
I feel that.
I'm in competition with all my niggas all the time. Niggas say, I tried this. I'm like, shit, let me try that. Kind of thing. And not from an envious standpoint, but, those who do together, grow together. In a sense. So I do, but I have a certain kind of group that I surround myself with, too. Like, outside of my white boys, because I have a standard to abide by.
Shout out to the white boys.
Shout out to the white boys. All of my close friends have been on the podcast. Shout out J Pat. Shout out Vaughn. Shout out Q. Q's been on 5 times. Shout out Jay Carter. Like all of my close, like my close friends, the ones that I call and tell them, or the niggas I tell shit that I would only tell a wife. All of them niggas have been on the podcast. They've come into my space. It's never been like out of an envious. It's always been like, hey, it's dope to see where you at kind of shit.
Yeah.
But even in that aspect, I've heard friends of mine say, I like what you're doing. It makes me want to go ahead and get into the content creation world.
That's fine. That's inspiring. See, that's the thing. That's the difference between
Fair.
envy and inspiring.
Yeah.
Because you could be inspired by someone, but once you want to feel like, you want to be in their position.
You want to be them.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, yeah.
Then it becomes a feeling of resentment that's like, all right, well, I don't feel like you deserve this as much as I do because I've been doing this, that, and the third, but they don't know half the stuff you did.
You're right. There's a difference between the inspiration and the jealousy and the inspiration or there's a fine line between I see what you're doing, I want to do something like that, as opposed to I see what you're doing, I want to be in your shoes.
Yeah. Telling you.
Now I want to be in your skin, because even in your shoes is not. I don't even think that's
enough.
a stretch.
It's not
enough.
Yeah,
I want to be in your skin is crazy.
I'm about to say, because you could be walking the same walk. I can give you the steps, but then once you feel like you get to that point where it's like, you know what, you're not doing half as much as I feel like I'm doing, that's when it's like, okay, now I got to cut you off.
Yeah.
Now I got a distance, because the fact that I'm giving you these steps, I'm not a type of person that's going to withhold information either. I started merch. I had a team. Well, I have a team. UOU Productions, shout out them. Sorry to do shout outs on your show, but
Yeah, you good.
But yeah, but like literally,
This
I
is
have
always
a team.
also the guest show.
Oh yes.
Oh.
But yeah, so I have a team, and I started making merch. I used a certain company to do it. I put my team on. I was like, hey, you know what? Let's do this. I'm gonna show y'all how to make merch. I even created someone's design.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah, let's do this. You go ahead, take all of that. I'm not a person that's gonna withhold information.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I do see other people besides my team where I try to give them that information. They'll start being like, oh, well, I like my merch better. I do this, that, and the third better. How are you doing this
Now
and I'm
it's
not
turning
doing
into
it?
a
And I'm like,
competition
all right.
as opposed to a group growing.
Exactly. And like, trust me,
Or
dude,
cooperation.
I'm a giving person. I do not care. I don't care who makes it first, because if I make it and I'm helping somebody, I'm gonna bring them up.
Yeah.
If someone else makes it before me and they're doing what they do, 9 times out of 10, if I've been helping them, they're probably gonna bring me up too.
Yeah.
So it's just like, okay, cool. Even when it comes to this podcast, if I were to get big one day, this is probably one of the first podcasts I'm getting on, just because it's just like, I've been here. This is home. Yeah. Shout out. You
niggas heard it here first.
You heard it here first. But if I ever make it, like, not even if, when I make it, because I have some type of drive that I need to get to that spot.
Mm-hmm.
But when I get to that spot that I'm looking for, yeah, I'm bringing this on. I'm bringing whatever else was helping me on.
Showing up to Gerani's.
Exactly. I'm still going to show up to, I could be 30,000 people listening to me daily. I could be a millionaire. I'm still showing up to Gerani. That's where I started.
No, I feel it. And that fact that you don't have that following behind you, in the sense of when the whole city ain't behind you. Throw that one in the pocket for episode 8. But yeah, when the whole city ain't behind you, real shit. And the ones you hear it from is your closest ones. That is it does make people want to move in silence. It really does. Like,
I'm telling you.
It makes you. I'm a real G.
I'm telling you. What Lil Wayne said something
Real
like,
G's moving
silence like lasagna. You
Yep.
feel me? Like, I'm the lasagna. Because Negro, you ain't gonna hear a thing from me now. I used to be the type to tell people all the time, like, tell people what I'm doing, this, that, and the third, and those plans would never work. And I probably feel like it's because people were preying on the failure of that. But now that I've been keeping this quiet, now that I've been keeping relationships private, now that I've been doing everything privately, now it's like people are asking, what are you doing? What are you doing? Where's this? Where's that? But they don't know how much progress it's been. Like, it's been so much progress throughout the silence. It's just like, dude, I don't even want to tell you no more.
And
Like,
I get that when you're talking about making when you're talking about your friends and like the close life, keeping it private and stuff like that. But there's a slippery slope to that, because me and shout out Penrose, shout out Protestant Right, shout out R. Kelly, Doja Cat, 3 kids and a degree. But if you know, you know. But me and Penrose was having that conversation about, like, we know somebody that has hella ambitions, hella dreams, hella goals, but you don't have a step-by-step process. You don't have a direction within it. And you may very well, and you might be keeping that part a secret. But the problem is, you telling us, like, if you said you want to be the greatest rapper on the planet, and then I'm like, what you gonna do to get there? Oh, just I'm a rap here, I'm a rap there, I'm a rap here. You might be keeping that a secret, but then, and this is the caveat to what you're saying, because I agree with what you're saying. I'm just throwing in that counter argument where now people can question, their faith in you. Well, you don't seem like you know what the fuck you're doing. And you could sit there and tell them straight to their face, oh, no, I know what I'm doing. I'm just not telling you.
yeah.
But still, my faith in you is a little wavered because I don't know what you're doing kind of thing. But that's a caveat to that, especially if I don't know you. When you, like I said, when you're talking to your close friends about your personal life, that's one thing. But in the grand scheme of things, like, it's like if you plan on doing a release, what do they call it? Like a release tour kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
If you plan on doing something like that and you tell them, man, I plan on going here, I'm going to do something like this, I'm going to do something like that. I don't think that's the surpassing the line of keeping your life private in the sense of telling people what your game plan is.
Oh, yeah, of course not. Because if I'm doing something like where I'm where I'm touring, right? I'm gonna tell you because I want you a part of that. I want you to come. I want you to support. I want you to buy a ticket.
Yeah.
Buy merch, stuff like that. That shows me support. But when I do have a plan, a definitive plan of what I want to do, how I'm gonna get there, it's only being kept private because when people lose faith in you, that also makes you lose faith in yourself.
Yeah.
So instead of telling the whole world like, oh yeah, this, that, and the third,
Fair.
and giving them a chance for
Fair.
their faith to waver, why would I let your faith waver when you're the only person I'm confiding in that I need that affirmation from? Because then if your faith fails, my faith fails. So it's just like, I have to just move silent because it's like, all right, well, I have to rely on my own faith to make it, especially in the content creating. We really have to rely on our own faith to make it in this.
I agree, but I also I needed the people behind me that were behind me.
If they're helping, are they helping?
Yes.
Yeah,
because
so
a lot of
so they have that same faith.
Yeah. Because a lot of the people that the people that I was talking to about early on about the podcasting world, shout out J Pat, shout out Vaughn, shout out Dale, shout out Q, shout out Jay Carter, all of them have been on the podcast. But we grew up in that time where we would have these, long drawn out conversations amongst our difference of opinions and or our agreements of opinions, or we would listen to other people talk about their ideologies and their perspectives on things. And did I say the podcast where a bunch of dumbass millennials talk about their dumbass? Did I do that? I don't feel like I did that part. When I says Woes podcast for a bunch of dumbass millennials. I'll suffer for short-term memory loss. I don't remember if I intro opened up. I think I did though, because I'm pretty sure it just came I have it habitually. But anyways, I grew up with those people where we always had that kind of space. That's why Our Sense of Woes was always so easy to me, because I'm used to just sitting down and having a vulnerable conversation. So, but the people that were behind me that was like, yeah, you should do that. Yeah, I like where that's going. Yeah, that's a good idea. I didn't need that. But again, like you said, I had to have faith in myself first before they had faith in me.